I, Isabella Garcia, was reborn back to my first birthday party. Despite having a constitution that brings good luck, in my previous life, I completely ignored all requests from my father Wesley Garcia and mother Emery Garcia. In my past life, I used my good fortune to help Wesley and Emery become the wealthiest family. My eldest brother Rowan Garcia became a powerful figure in the business world. My second brother Liam Garcia became a highly skilled doctor. And my third brother Jacob Garcia became a superstar in the music industry. Only our family's adopted daughter, Ariana Garcia, wasn't affected by my good luck because she shared no blood relation with me. Ariana scored poorly on her SATs at 18, was kidnapped at 20, and died in an accident at 25. Before dying, she said through tears, "I don't blame Isabella. I was always an outsider. So it's only natural she wouldn't help me." The entire family believed I was jealous of Ariana and deliberately caused her misfortunes. They locked me up, conducted various experiments on me, trying to use my good luck to bring Ariana back to life, and ultimately tortured me to death. When I opened my eyes again, I had returned to my first birthday. Wesley asked me with a smile, "Isabella, do you think I should sign this $10 million project?" I blinked, then grabbed a handful of mud and threw it right at his face. The entire room fell silent. I grabbed more dirt from the flower pot and smeared it on Wesley's face. Wesley's arms holding me froze, his expression nearly collapsing. Everyone was at a loss, except for Ariana, whose eyes flashed with satisfaction. Ariana let out a shriek, putting on a worried expression as she rushed over. "Dad, are you okay? Isabella is being so naughty." Wesley wiped the mud from his face forcefully and angrily handed me to the nanny. That fortune teller clearly said she had a lucky constitution, naturally bringing good fortune. How could she suddenly go crazy? Ariana bit her lip. After a moment, she said quietly, "Isabella's been born for a whole year now, and she hasn't brought us much luck." Maybe what that fortune teller said was fake. When I was taking care of Isabella a few days ago, she bit me. She doesn't seem like a smart child at all. Instead, Rowan snorted coldly, "She's just a troublemaker. Isabella has done nothing but torment us since birth. Even Ariana has been neglected and suffered so much. I think that fortune teller was lying about her having good luck. She's just here to cause us trouble and bring misfortune." Emery frowned as she studied me, then said after a long pause, "Forget it. She just turned 1. She doesn't understand anything. Our company went public successfully right after she was born. Maybe she threw mud because she wanted to stop you from signing this project." Wesley paced back and forth irritably. "Then I won't sign this project and see if she really has good luck or not." With that, he hurried off to change clothes. And my first birthday party came to an abrupt end. As soon as Wesley and Emery left, Ariana revealed her true face. She stared at me with malicious eyes. "Isabella really is lucky. Dad loves cleanliness so much, but he didn't hold it against you." Sure enough, blood relations are what matter most. Rowan immediately walked over, glanced at me coldly, and said to Ariana, "Ariana, don't be sad. In our hearts, we only recognize you as our sister. If it weren't for that fortune teller saying Isabella could bring good luck, why would Mom and Dad have had her? If she dares compete with you for Mom and Dad's affection, we'll definitely take your side." My other two brothers also made firm promises and held Ariana's hands to comfort her. In my previous life, Wesley and Emery felt they couldn't have a daughter, so they adopted Ariana shortly after Jacob was born and developed deep feelings for her. My 3 biological brothers also treated me as an unexpected child and were particularly cold toward me. Moreover, because Ariana didn't benefit from my good luck, they were convinced I was deliberately harming her. Back then, I understood nothing and thought that if I just used my good fortune to help them, I could earn their love. But in the end, I was abused and tortured by them, dying miserably. Watching them get along so harmoniously now, I opened my mouth and began crying loudly. Ariana looked at me coldly and raised her hand to pinch me. So annoying. But just then, Wesley ran over excitedly and picked me up, interrupting her action. The company leading that project just ran off with the money. The whole project was a scam. Thank goodness I didn't sign the contract. Isabella really is my lucky star. Wesley hugged me and laughed heartily, then instructed the butler to have a ruby necklace made for me. He said, "I can't shortchange my lucky star. All these wonderful things will belong to Isabella in the future." My brothers and Ariana stared in shock, their eyes wide. Jacob shouted in protest. Glaring at Wesley with dissatisfaction, he said, "Dad, How can you favor Isabella like this? Ariana is the sister we truly care about. Ariana's eyes reddened as she stubbornly lowered her head, putting on a pitiful act. Wesley quickly set me down and cleared his throat. He said, "All these Christmases, I've treated Ariana like my own daughter. How could I possibly play favorites? Didn't Ariana have her eye on that $20 million necklace a couple days ago? It'll be delivered to the house today." Ariana immediately stopped crying and broke into a smile. She ran over to Wesley, acting coquettish as she said, "Daddy, you're so good to me. I thought after Isabella was born, you'd all stop caring about me." Wesley lovingly stroked her head, saying, "Silly child. You'll always be mine and Emery's little princess." Ariana turned around and gave me a provocative smile. I couldn't understand why Ariana harbored such hostility toward me, even as a 1-year-old, but it was obvious she wanted to suppress me while I was still young, preventing me from having any chance to grow. Wesley often asked me what he should do to have good luck, and I didn't always agree to his requests. Whenever they wanted me to bring Ariana good fortune, I would start crying. Over the next month, everyone in the family encountered misfortune and had terrible luck. Wesley and Emery faced setbacks in their careers. Rowan was schemed against by competitors. Liam encountered eerie, terrifying incidents at the morgue. Jacob thought H met someone who could make him famous, only to be swindled out of all his money. After this happened multiple times, they began to notice the pattern, though they couldn't figure out why. Since I was just a child under 2 who couldn't even speak complete sentences, I simply pretended not to understand what they were saying. Ariana's complexion grew increasingly worse. Now everyone associated the family's misfortunes with her. Finally, when Wesley made another wrong decision that nearly broke the company's cash flow and brought them close to bankruptcy, the entire family couldn't take it anymore. Ariana covered her face and began to cry. She said, "Only I bring bad luck? Isabella must not like me. Then I'll leave. I can't drag down Dad, Mom, and my brothers." They all nervously gathered around to comfort Ariana. Rowan said, "Ariana, this isn't your fault. You're also our parents' daughter. This will always be your home." Liam chimed in, "That's right. It's Isabella's fault. She's stolen our good luck, which is why we keep having bad fortune." After hearing this, Emery also looked at me with resentful eyes. She said, "If only Ariana were my biological daughter. She's so filial and understanding, unlike this child who's already causing harm at 2 years old." Wesley immediately made up his mind to invite a fortune teller named Thomas Adams over. He said, "Mr. Adams previously said Isabella could bring good luck. This time I want to ask him why she keeps bringing us misfortune." After Thomas arrived, he stared at me for quite a while. I pointed at Ariana and said in my childish voice, "Ugly." Rowan's face immediately darkened. Ariana is obviously so beautiful with such delicate skin. She's even talking nonsense about this. No wonder she brings us bad luck. The others' expressions were equally grim. Seeing Ariana's pitiful appearance made them feel even more sorry for her. However, Thomas said, "This has nothing to do with Miss Garcia. The source of your family's recent misfortunes is actually Miss Ariana Garcia." As soon as Thomas finished speaking, everyone immediately protested. "Impossible," Jacob said excitedly. "You useless fortune teller are deliberately lying. Ariana has lived with us for over 10 years. How could she possibly bring us bad luck?" Jacob was furious. As if Thomas was saying that he himself was the one bringing misfortune, he took 2 steps forward, ready to hit Thomas. But Wesley stopped him. Wesley looked at Thomas with scrutinizing eyes and asked suspiciously, "Mr. Adams, you initially said my youngest daughter could bring good luck, but never mentioned that Ariana would be cursed. Now our entire family has been harmed so badly by my youngest daughter. You owe me an explanation." Emery's eyes also reddened as she held Ariana in her arms and said, "Mr. Adams, nothing can happen to Ariana. Think of a way to break this curse." Thomas waved his hand and said, "Isabella can only bring good luck to blood relatives, and she's only 2 years old now. It's possible that your forceful demands for her to transfer good luck to Ariana caused a reverse effect, turning everyone's good luck into bad luck. Ariana is also surrounded by negative energy and has very poor luck." Thomas shook his head again, looked at them meaningfully, and said, "I've said everything I needed to say. You should be careful in your actions." After speaking, he turned and left Garcia Villa. Ariana suddenly began crying softly, choking as she said, "I'm just an adopted daughter. I shouldn't have coveted the Garcia family's wealth in the first place. Otherwise, Isabella wouldn't have caused mom and dad to be affected by misfortune. Why don't you just sacrifice me alone so you can all have good luck? She spoke as if she was very righteous and willing to sacrifice for others. Wesley, Emery, and her brothers naturally refused, all expressing that they wouldn't let Ariana suffer alone. Rowan said firmly, "This isn't your fault. Isabella is biased against you. She's so young yet already wants to drive you away. We absolutely won't give in." Jacob also said unwillingly, "If only Ariana had the good luck constitution." Everyone agreed with Jacob's words. Listening to their conversation, I just wanted to roll my eyes. Ariana looked at me with even more wariness. When no one was watching, she would pinch me more viciously and wouldn't give me food. But I wasn't really a child. Whenever she abused me, I would make the whole family unlucky, tormenting them without any mercy. As for the Garcia family's attempts to transfer good luck, only 1 or 2 out of 10 times would succeed. After each failure, they would all return with dark faces, recalling where they had mentioned Ariana again. By the time I turned 5, Wesley and Emery's company was still struggling in the middle tier of the industry with no development, and my 3 brothers hadn't achieved anything either. Ariana had fallen to the lowest point of her life, with particularly poor SAT scores. The night the SAT scores came out, Ariana cried all night, with the whole family surrounding her for comfort. When she saw me, Ariana broke down and lunged at me, scratching marks across my face with her sharp nails, saying, "It's all your fault. Why won't you give me good luck?" Jacob was startled and wanted to stop her. Ariana cried and shouted, "I can't go to college anymore. Can't I at least vent on the culprit? Do you still consider me your sister?" Wesley and Emery also remained silent, pretending not to see what was happening before their eyes. Rowan took Ariana's hand and said softly, "Don't worry, Ariana. We'll get revenge for you." That night, my 3 brothers forcibly took me out of the house, blindfolded me with cloth, and then dumped me in a dark alley. Rowan said to Ariana, "Ariana, we're leaving her here to reflect and get revenge for you." I cried and called for my brothers, but no one looked back. They laughingly took Ariana to the amusement park. The moment the surrounding lights disappeared, my heart completely turned cold. They wanted to punish me, but forgot that I had good luck protection. When I ran out of the alley, I used up all the good luck I hadn't previously used on my family members all at once. After an unknown amount of time, a car stopped in front of me. The person inside asked, "Whose child is this that got lost?" I looked up and recognized the person in the car as Claire Miller, the matriarch of the Miller family. She had enormous power and influence in Washington, yet was known as a philanthropist. I immediately shed tears, putting on a very pitiful appearance, and said, "My brothers wanted to abandon me." Claire was indeed known for her kindness and soft heart. Not only did she save me, but she also arranged for her assistant, Harper Brown, to drive me back to the Garcia family mansion. When we arrived at the Garcia mansion, we could hear laughter and cheerful voices coming from inside before we even entered. Wesley, Emery, and my 3 brothers had decorated the mansion in a dreamy, adorable way, excitedly celebrating Ariana's 18th birthday. Emery said, "Ariana, don't worry. We've already arranged for you to study abroad. Once you go overseas for school and come back, your 3 brothers will still be here to take care of you. These company shares are your birthday gift. We'll always support you." Everyone lovingly surrounded Ariana, completely forgetting about me, the one they had thrown out of the house just a day ago. When I walked into the mansion, the smile froze on everyone's face. Harper, who was carrying me, maintained a cold expression as she introduced herself, then said, "Mrs. Miller would like to ask the Garcia family, is this how you raise children? Abandoning a 5-year-old in an alley in the middle of the night?" Wesley's smile immediately stiffened. He tried to take me back, saying, "This is just a small matter. She was being naughty and ran out on her own. Thank you for bringing her back, Mrs. Miller." I immediately dodged Wesley's hands and hid behind Harper, bursting into tears. Harper's gaze grew even colder. "It seems we need to reconsider our company's partnership with the Garcia family." Wesley's outstretched hand awkwardly froze in midair. He turned to my brothers and scolded them loudly. "How are you watching Isabella? She went missing and you didn't even know?" Ariana said seriously, "This has nothing to do with them. They were busy celebrating my birthday, so they didn't notice Isabella wandering off. Dad, if you need to punish someone, punish me. I hope Mrs. Miller won't make things difficult for my father. This is all my fault." With that, Ariana ran out crying. Rowan immediately became anxious. "This has nothing to do with Ariana. Leaving Isabella in the alley was our idea, Isabella. When will you stop? All you know how to do is tattle. I looked at them and asked, when you saw I was missing, didn't Mom and Dad worry about me either? They exchanged glances, and Wesley said, what does a little kid understand? You must be remembering wrong, however. The next second, Harper pulled out a USB drive containing surveillance footage of me being abandoned in the alley. They opened their mouths to argue, but the surveillance footage was crystal clear and impossible to refute. Their faces all turned ugly. Harper said, Mrs. Miller mentioned that she and Isabella have a special connection. Mr. Wesley Garcia, if you can't raise your daughter properly, then let her raise her instead. I gripped Harper's hand tightly, knowing that my chance to leave the Garcia family was about to come. Just then, Rowan suddenly burst in, shouting frantically, something terrible happened. Ariana's been kidnapped. The kidnappers are demanding either $100 million or Isabella in exchange for her. In the video the kidnappers sent, Ariana was pitifully tied up, trapped inside a run-down van. Rowan pointed at me, his eyes filled with hatred. It must be her fault again. Wesley and Emery's faces turned particularly grim. Emery lunged at me, gripping my throat tightly, and said frantically, if you hadn't suddenly appeared, why would Ariana have run out? You have to save her. If Ariana doesn't come back safely, you'll pay with your life. Just as Emery finished speaking, the mansion's front door was suddenly kicked open with tremendous force. Then, a voice rang out. I'd like to see who dares to touch her.